Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phoenix Act, and welcome. Okay, so today we're continuing with this Let's Play of Project Zero, Maiden of Blackwater. And yes, even though I started this as a Halloween project, I'm aware I missed actual day of Halloween, but oh well. I'm going to continue this for a little bit anyway. Anyway, onward. And this time and obviously we're starting from the second drop. Bit of a spoiler there, but okay. And we'll go with normal, yep. And we'll just go with what it gives us. You can buy items with points here, but I don't really see the point. Anyway, onward. And our second chapter, the second drop, is with Yuri again, because, well, she's the principal protagonist, so... A few days have passed since Yuri's introduction to shadow reading at the abandoned inn. Since then, Hisoka has gone off somewhere and hasn't returned. Yuri worries for Hisoka, but isn't sure how or where to start searching. As she sits waiting at the antique shop, a girl named Fuyuhi Himino shows up, claiming to have enlisted Hisoka's help. Claiming to have enlisted Hisoka to help her find a missing person. Trying to sight read stuff like that is actually harder than it seems.
Hisoka さんはいらっしゃいますか？すみません。今留守にしています。依頼をした日々野です。人探しだから受けるかどうかということでしたけど、いつになるのかと思って。人探し？山に行ったかもしれないんです。氷上山。氷上山。山の近くで遥かを見た人がいて、自殺の名所ですよね。遥かがそんなところに行くはずないんです。私に何も言わずに。すみません。黒沢が戻り次第。いえ、遅くなるなら結構です。自分で確かめます。
Right, so yes, that's our next story bit, is to find Hisoka, who has apparently gone to look for a missing person and gone missing herself. Anyway, before we head up to Hisoka's room to look for, clues to her whereabouts, let's take a look around the shop where we've got free reign of it. Suicide at Mount Hikami. A book about Mount Hikami was lying on the bookshelf. It seems to be about the rumors surrounding Mount Hikami as a site of spiritual activity. How does a place become famed for suicide? As more people die, the place will gain a reputation, and people are drawn to these spots out of a desire to not be alone in the end. Interestingly, these suicide spots are really known as hotspots for spiritual activity. This is what makes Mount Hikami distinct from the others, as it has both a tradition of suicide and has long been associated with ghost sightings. Then there are the so-called Maidens of Black Water. It is said that if you are found by one of those maidens, they will lead you to your death. Those caught in the maiden's gaze never again leave the mountain, or so the rumors go. There are also tales of spectres on Mount Hikami who relive their own deaths. Those who do not die in accordance with local practices become cursed, forced to relive their final moments for eternity. Many of the people who have been kept from committing suicide on Mount Hikami claim to have seen a maiden or one of these looping spectres and felt a strong compulsion to kill themselves. Perhaps it is because of these stories of maidens and ghosts that the mountain continues to be a popular spot for those looking to take their own life. Interesting information and ominous. And the next, The Deathly Mountain. A book about Mount Hikami was lying on the bookshelf. It seems to be about the traditions surrounding the mountain. Mount Hikami has long been feared to be haunted. In the past, it was said that sleeping with one's feet facing the mountain was taboo. Watching the sun set behind the mountain too was believed to invite forth beings from the netherworld. Disgaea all of a sudden. Today, the mountain is said to call to those fascinated by death. Countless rumors abound of people spirited away to that accursed peak. They are said to venture to the mountain alone, leaving behind no trace of themselves. Some say the bodies of those who vanish can be found at the bottom of the Lake of the Departed on the mountain's summit. Since becoming a tourist destination, the prevalence of such frightening tales did seem to diminish for a while. Even so, despite its fleeting status as a tourist hotspot, Mount Hikami is yet to shake its reputation as a cursed mountain, a place of death. Today it has become a popular place at which to commit suicide. So yeah, this mountain appears to have been a very bad place for a very long time. It can radiate evil energy that could draw you in even when you're not even on the mountain. So anything in here? Oh, just an old clock. Hisoka really likes clocks, apparently. And these doors one leads to the bathroom, the other leads outside. You can't open either of them, so let's continue up to the first floor. Oh, okay. Was there anything? Desk. Yes, I get the feeling our protagonist is currently rather aimless in terms of where her life is going. So that may be the reason for her rather subdued, well, for the voice actors, rather subdued take on her lines. Ooh, what's in here? I can hear static, white noise. So, and we find out Hisoka really likes things in a historical style. In here is nothing. And we can't. Doesn't like her own reflection from the sound of things. Lost item case files. A folder reading lost items sits on the desk. Looks like it's bound by string. There seem to be notes on Hisoka's shadow reading cases. Client, blank, missing item, diary, token, photo of the deceased. Details. Locate mother's diary. Client seeks info on their late mother. Relates to a deceased individual. Apply caution. Results. The caretaker of the deceased had burned the diary at her request. Something in there she didn't want anyone to see. Client. Missing item. Storeroom key. Token. Photo of the deceased. Details. Locate storeroom key. Item may already be lost. Token and item applied to deceased. Apply caution. Results. Item located. Had been hidden by client's parent. Returned to the client. Client. Missing item. Diamond ring. Token. Rings box. Details. Client seek lost engagement ring. Requested fiancé not be notified. Date of wedding soon approaching. Oh dear. Results found on client's desk. Was in an obvious place but somehow eluded the client. Okay, dude. Probably just walked into the room and was like, it's right there. Client. Ren Hojo. Oh, we actually have a name for the client here. Missing item. Album of post-mortem photographs. Token. Post-mortem photograph. Details. Reference material for a book about traditional practice in Mount Hikami area. Bad location but minimal danger anticipated. Yeah, we saw how that went. Client is an acquaintance. Result. Found an old building of abandoned inn. Shadow attempted to drag Yuri toward the netherworld. Should have gone alone. Must warn Yuri to stay away from the mountain. I'm pronouncing Yuri wrong. It's Yuri, I think. The art of shadow reading. Shadow reading is the ability to read traces of the past, not unlike the ability commonly known as psychometry. By following these traces, it is possible to find things that have gone missing or which were no longer visible. Things that are demonstratively there, pronounced that wrong, but for reasons unknown are all but invisible. Things the owner wished to be forgotten. Things whose owners have passed away. Things that no longer wish to be seen. Things drawn part way into the netherworld, invisible within our own. Such items can be called back to the world of the living. Unlike these objects, however, people who have been spirited away must not be chased after lightly. In many such cases, they have been taken by creatures of the netherworld who linger nearby. Utmost caution must always be applied. Ooh. Yep. Letter from Fuyuhi. Yep, the missing persons request. Dear Miss Kurosawa, please find Haruka. She went missing over a week ago. You do still take on missing person cases, don't you? I've contacted the police, but they're no help. They say she was probably spirited away. Wow, that's some police work right there. Haruka wouldn't have gone anywhere without telling me. I'm certain something bad has happened. I can handle my own grief, but I can't stand the thought of her suffering somewhere. What if she's waiting for me to find her? I'm worried sick. Haruka is still alive, I know it, but something has to be done, and quick. Remember when you found that precious picture of me and Haruka? I was so happy to have it. Now I need your help once again.
Hisoka-san, この人を探して氷山に。氷山、自殺の名所だという。日比野さんはきっとこの山にいる。
And I failed to search the last room because I forgot that the middle room is the one that actually progresses the story. That's great. Yes. So even though Yuri is more worried for Hisoka, she does still take the time to go after Fuyuhi first, so I don't have the camera yet, so I can't take a picture of that. If you try to go down either of these paths, the game will just tell you, no, you're not supposed to go that way. So Again, don't have the camera, can't do anything about that. The road has collapsed and the stone stairs are cut off. It must have been the landslide from decades ago, if I remember right. And so we have to take the long way round. Yeah, like I say, the controls are a bit fiddly in this game. I don't know why they did it like this for some reason. And yeah, need a meal out of that one. But yes, we go the long way round. There's something on the ground. You have to use R2 to pick items up in this game. And I don't think you can actually... Yeah, sometimes when you pick items up, yeah. When you pick items up, that ghost hand will try and grab you. Yay, a map of the mountain. That's convenient. I don't think you can... Obviously, you have to let go of R2 in time to avoid getting grabbed. But Pool of Purification and Unfathomable Forest. I don't know who names these places, but I like their ideas. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can avoid that first one at all, because it's the tutorial one that's teaching you about the mechanics, so... Yeah, that's how long it's been here. Right, yes. And again, picking that up instantly gets you soaked through, and when you become more vulnerable to spirits when you're wet. So, spooky screams. And the health item. Yeah. So those embers will dry you off, making you less vulnerable. Being wet also means that that hand that grabs you when you go to pick up items is more likely to appear, which is a pain. In fact, that whole mechanic's kind of a pain. It was interesting the first couple of times, but it just sort of becomes a bit of an inconvenience after a while, and it becomes less spooky and just more of a, roll your eyes and sigh heavily moment. More purifying embers. When you're in a dry area like this, the characters will dry off by themselves, so you don't really need to use the embers. At least I don't think you do. Do come in useful later on though, so I generally save them for then. Hisoka's camera obscura. What's it doing here? And Type 14 film times 24. Yes, the second weakest film in the game, and the first that has a finite supply. Stun lens. And the switch upgrade. And now that's sideways. Yeah, so Type 14 film is stronger, but it has a smaller supply. So we're going to stick with Type 7 for now, and then we've got the stun lens over here. And now we get attacked by the spooky. The teleporting spooks. Come on. Come at me. Come on. Lunge for me. Lunge for me, you clown. Oh, you're joking. Lunge for... And get them both in a single frame. Excellent. Oh, get off. There we go. Yep, and if you touch the ghosts after you've defeated it, you get that little flashback, which earns you points and gives you some interesting lore, I guess, about how, you know, some of the ways people have died on this mountain. Although if you read the ghosts' descriptions, like in the enemy index, you find that these ghosts aren't of specific people. They're of they're like an amalgam, like these common ghosts are like an amalgamation of various different people who have died on the mountain. So even though all these ghosts have like actual names and stuff. Oh, I didn't get a flashback for that one. That's interesting. Anyway, we've dealt with them. Onward to finding Fuyuhi. And that was the woman we heard screaming before. Suicide hotspot. Onward and upward. Get a view of the pool from down there, I'm fairly sure. Map, which one's the map? I've forgotten what the map was. There we go. Alright, so the map isn't actually filled out yet, so we'll just take a look around, see what we can see. There we go, I knew there was something around here. So see, you avoid it like that. It does become more difficult to avoid as time goes on, or at least I found it did anyway. And more Type 14 film, which I don't think I'll need in this chapter, but, you know, we'll save it for later. I think it carries over, but it might not. Actually, I don't think it does. I think I've got that wrong. Oh, well. Yep. And she crawled through the gap into the forest, so we're going to pick this up first. I forgot about that. I looked into Mount Hikami. It's always been a spiritual place. Not spiritual as in holy, but spiritual as in filled with the spirits of the dead. An important distinction to make. Maybe that's why it's a suicide spot. Haruka wouldn't go to die alone, though. Not without telling me. The book said people get spirited away to the mountain, they get called towards it, and disappear alone. I read how it calls to people who are perceptive, anxious, meek, and who lack family. My heart skipped a beat when I read that. It was describing Haruka perfectly. She's so kind and accepting, she always opens up to me. She's alert, even when she seems to be spacing out. She knows what I'm thinking. Maybe she was spirited away. But where do people go when they're spirited away? The more I think about it, the scarier it gets, and the more my heart starts pounding. Proceed into the dense, dark woods. Yes, and onward. I'm going to be using the map a lot here because these woods always, despite the number of times I've played it, these woods still manage to bamboozle me a little somehow. So I would assume so. Yeah. And there's a ghost here. I mean, not that we have to fight this ghost. I could have just gone around without fighting it, but where would be the fun in that? How about no? Oop. Teleported away and come at me from a different direction, huh? Come on then. on then, spooky boy. There we go. And now we're to go traipsing through the deep dark woods, which, is generally a bad idea, but hey ho. Yes, I think I know where the trace goes, but we're not going to follow it immediately. We're going to take a look around and see if we can find stuff, A small Jizo statue stands at the base of the tree, or of a tree. Ooh, what's down this way? Yeah. More medicine. Excellent. And sacred water. Yep, that's full health. Wind echoes from the hole in the rocks. It's blowing up from underground. The low howl of the wind sounds almost like someone's voice. Ooh. I find this game less scary than the first two. It's still quite airy, but it's not scary, if you get me. More film, excellent. Type 14 film. Are we full on that already? Oh well. A tent and a note. Ooh. How long have I been here? I suppose it doesn't matter. I'm glad I decided to do things right and come here to die. This place feels right. I thought I might get lonely, but there are people here. People who aren't alive. This place may be as strange as people say. I heard children playing just now. I tried to get a look at them, but they ran off before I could get close. Did they come here on their own, or were they left here? Earlier I heard the sound of raspy breathing and running. After that I heard a scream. I was scared and held my breath. I'm not scared of death, but that was terrifying. I saw a woman dressed in white today. She was draped in cloth, so I couldn't see her face. She seemed to stare at me for a while, then left. Which side is she on, I wonder? Will she be back? I saw her again. She turns up every day, watching me. I feel her gaze, but not her presence. As soon as I notice her, she disappears. She must be constantly watching me. I heard a voice, a mournful voice like screaming. No, like singing. It was a call of some kind, but not for me. Not yet. My time is yet to come. Everything I brought with me is gone. Now I have nothing. I like it here. Nothing matters now. This was the right choice. I'm glad I came. She will come soon. She will take me away. She is calling. I must go. Well, not much I can say about that. Just feels an awful lot like the ghost of preying on the weak and the vulnerable, though, doesn't it? Just a tiny wee bit. That's type. Is it more type? Type 61. Excellent. That's well, even more powerful film, which again I don't think we should need for this. Yeah, this part of the game, but you never know. It's there. You might as well grab it. More purifying embers. Anything down this way? Nope. Yeah, I know it. The game is basically up. That's away to a next area, the game won't let us proceed because this is the area we have to explore. I think that's another thing I preferred about the other games as well, is I liked the layout of like the mansion in the first game where you could just explore at will. I mean, obviously some places were locked off, but they were locked off sort of diegetically, if you know what I mean, where, you know, you could go to any area you had access to without the game stopping to tell you, no, you're not supposed to be here yet. Like, if you found the key to a room, you could go to that room whenever you wanted. You didn't have the game stop to tell you, oh, no, oh, that's what I get for talking. The game's stopping you to say, oh, no, you're not supposed to be here, now go, you know, go to the main hall or whatever, or the entrance hall, or type 90. Not the strongest, but getting up there. Whereas with this one, it's a bit more like, I don't like the way the game stops you all the time to tell you what to do. I've already been this way. Turn around, bright eyes. I shouldn't sing that, should I, really? Yep, that in front of us is just like the entrance shrine or something like that. Being quiet when I pick things up now, so I don't distract myself. Every now and then. Just make sure I haven't missed anything. Like I say, I use the map a lot in this section of the game. Not so much in other sections, especially the indoor sections, but here, yes, I will. More film. And that's probably the one I went to grab before, isn't it? Oh well. And I've just gone completely in circles, haven't I? Like I said, I don't know what it is about this area, but despite the number of times I've played this game, it does. This one area keeps sending me round and round in circles, and I don't. Good. Now let me figure it out on my own. But I don't know what to do now that Haruka's gone missing. I can't do anything on my own. It's like I can't breathe. We've been close since we were children. Now she's gone. I realize how important she is to me, how irreplaceable. I can't stop thinking that I could have done something when she left that day. Maybe if I had said something, I could have stopped her from going. The waiting is unbearable. I should have been the one to disappear. It should be me. If Haruka comes back, there's so much I want to tell her. I should tell her how I really feel before we end things together. Maybe she's already known for a long time, but I'll tell her anyway. I have to tell her. Oh, that was pretty far from the center, that one, but whatever. I forgot that ghost was there, so that actually took me a little off guard, actually. Come on. There we go. Oh, there is a dodge function. I thought I got it then, but apparently I didn't. This ghost is wearing a sailor fuku, but from what I've been told, the sailor fuku has actually fallen out of fashion in Japan. Like, a lot of schools have been phasing it out, so I suppose that's meant to indicate that that ghost is quite, like, from a much older era or something like that. But then again, I don't know how accurate that information is, so I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But that's what I heard anyway. I'm sure there's, yep, just a dude floating in the water. Or a woman. Sorry, I couldn't quite tell from this distance. And onward, and Fuyuhi's over this way, and then Fuyuhi Himino in front of the shrine. So let's check out the shrine. You see, I honestly prefer figuring out from these contextual clues about seeing, figuring it out from what we see and hear rather than having the game point me directly at the direction I'm supposed to be going. So, spooky dolls, because why not? She didn't go into the shrine apparently, but after examining the shrine, this note materializes from the ether. Haruka and I have been close since kindergarten. We sang a song together at graduation. It was called the Song of Memories. Haruka and I looked at each other when we sang together. I'll never forget that. I think about those times a lot lately. They were the best. If I even hum the tune, I start to tear up. Spooky little child ghost. Because of course, again. Let's examine these. What do we have to say about these? Countless dolls are lined up around the shrine. Maybe this shrine used dolls in its ceremonies. I imagine they have, because this shrine has been abandoned for a very long time, hasn't it? Here we go. That one's a bit of a give me, because the game automatically points you in the right direction. So it's a bit of an easy one, really. I'm going to go down this way first, because there is stuff just hanging around down here. Again. Not doing terribly well today, am I? I don't think I'm going to pick up everything. I think I'm pressing it for time as it is, you know. Pick it up. That was a bit weird. And picking up that triggers some ghosts. Where are we? I'm going to switch to type 14th for this one, actually, because just to make life easy on myself. Make things a little easier on myself since I'm being triple teamed. Stay away from that, because that thing will give you the sort of taint status condition, which is a bit not great. Fatal glance. More purifying embers, not that we need them quite yet. And I don't know why it's turned me around to face the other way to pick that up. And Yes, a little secret area here that takes you through to this area, which is disconnected from the rest of the map, so you wouldn't... It makes it difficult to find, basically. This place will do. No one will find me here. This will be a place just for me. I can melt away, bit by bit. I'll be like water, seeping into the ground. I won't be myself anymore. I'll be one with nature. Was I dreaming just now? A woman dressed in white was looking down at me. She looked like one of those shrine maidens I've heard about. I didn't have the strength to move, but she kept on watching me. She seemed harmless. I came here because I don't like people looking at me. They're always looking down on me. But being watched in my final moments felt strangely relieving. I'm glad I came here. So he wrote that note, implication being he wrote that note after his final moments. So apparently the ghosts could leave notes too, I guess. Interesting. Yes, she's just over there. Just over there. And another note. No, not this time. Sunken note. Watching the sunset makes me want to cry. I have no home to go back to. Nobody would be there if I went back. Everyone would be there, yet no one would. I know that now. That's why I came to the mountain. My grandma used to tell me never to go to the mountain at sunset, but my feet led me here. I chased the sun and it kept getting bigger. I couldn't stop. I felt the need to write something, so I'm scribbling this down. I had to go into the water. I had to write this first. I had to write something. What else should I write? She's calling to me. I have to go before the sun sets. I wonder if that guy was actually trying to escape, or... I mean, if he was, it was far too late, but... Did he still have the wherewithal in the end? Yep, now we need to escort Fuyuhi out of the Unfathomable forest. But first, let's... Is there anything down this way? I don't... Nope. Okay, yep, nothing. Let's just go back. Yep, but there's your tragic backstory. Haruka and Fuyuhi were... Haruka and Fuyuhi were part of a group of girls who tried to end it all together and somehow Okay, that caught me off guard. Nope. How come there's no... Is that... Okay, that didn't get her. Where? Okay. That was unfortunate. I like it here. I can die alone here. There's no one to stop me. I can take things slowly. A peaceful, dignified death. Life is nothing but misery and suffering. I'm sick of it. Mood. Sums up the last 10 years nicely, I think. I think the reason that ghost caught me off guard is I don't usually escort Fuyuhi back this way. I usually go down this way. So yeah, that's so I don't usually encounter that ghost. Let's go around this way. And then... or not. Okay, or maybe I can. Let's see. Just the ambience suddenly changed, put me on a little bit on edge just right then. And that foliage would have got in the way of the hand if it had turned up, and I wouldn't have been able to spot it, so that would have been annoying. But yeah, I've been trying to... The reason I went away I normally don't go is because I was trying to route this to pick up all the items without, you know, wandering around for ages. I'm still using the Type 14 film because... That get the kid. Nope. Oh, I didn't get the fatal glance. I thought that didn't get the kid then. I was going to be like... Oop. There we go, got that one. A bit of a morbid game for kids to play, don't you think? Although I take it that this girl was led off into death by those other ghosts. That's how she died. But she doesn't seem particularly unhappy with her lot, does she? She seems to be rather enjoying it. Although given the other child ghosts I've seen in other games in this series, I think that's just like, for some reason, it presents them like that even when their deaths weren't quite so peaceful. So... yes, and we're forced to pick this up. It is plot important. Oh dear, all those times Hisoka... well, Hisoka seems to have gotten herself in trouble after all those times she told us to be careful about it. And now she needs us to rescue her. Yes. While we were in that trance or wherever, Fuyuhi has disappeared and we need to find her. And there she is. That was quick. Oh yeah, missed the dodge there. Yeah. Like I said, there's a dodge, but I keep missing it. And now I'm going to have to heal. There is a trophy or achievement, by the way, for like healing something like 30 times in a single chapter. Which seems a bit excessive. There we go, got the dodge that time. Oh, she's almost back to normal when she does that. Yep, but we've failed to save Fuyuhi. So the only thing we can really do is lay her to rest. And just give me 1 second, guys. There we go, I'm back. I just had to make some quick adjustments to my recording setup there. But yes, I suppose we owe it to this poor girl to lay her to rest after we failed to save her. And that's another one. Yeah, it's very difficult. I find it's very difficult to, you know, avoid getting hit by that. Sorry, I'm being a bit silent with this fight because it's obviously it's a boss fight. It's a tiny bit harder, and this is the part where you know the game explains that you can do the fatal glance by going over to
さん日比野さん古川
touch the ghost after you've defeated them. Normally, you don't get this much time to do it.
さん古川 もう山から出ることはできない。ここで解けるのです。
Vengeance time, because I actually feel really bad for those girls in this game. Like, I'm not going to lie, that's actually one of the parts that really gets to me for some reason. So I always enjoy taking this ghost out. I'm going to go type with 61 because why not? There we go. And like I say, that'll inflict you with like the taint, so you want to get rid of those whenever you can. And stronger film loads slower, by the way, so you have to wait more time after each shot. And that meter down there is on the bottom left is your spiritual energy that you use for the special attacks that are in the bar on the left. Oh, that was fairly simple. Easier than I was expecting, but then I did use the really good film. Yeah, we have failed, the girl has died, and now we need to get out of here. Feels bad, man. Thought there would be a ghost through there, but apparently not. Well, that's not disturbing at all, is it? I really think you should get out of there now. Go, go, go. While searching for her friend, Fuyuhi Himino ended up taking her own life. Having witnessed Fuyuhi's final moments, Yuri knows she wasn't alone when she died. What of that other woman who killed herself in the same way? Not to mention the mysterious shrine maiden, sodden from the rain. Yuri managed to locate Hisoka's camera obscura, along with a charm she always liked to wear. For now, she must return to the antique shop alone. Yeah, it is a real feels bad moment. That, oh, S rank. But yeah, I do feel bad for Yuhi and Haruka. The question remains, can we save her? Haruka's lost her friend, but can we still save her life? Yeah, find out next time. I've been Phoenix Act, and until next time, ladies.